G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another one of my EV realist videos in which I try and put a slightly more realistic view of the mad dash to electrification than the current blindly optimistic views of our governments around the world. So if you like this kind of content, it'd be great if you drop a like, subscribe and hit that notification bell because it really helps the algorithm. Just a quick mention that I am on Instagram. You can follow me down here. I'll put out kind of more short form things there, little announcements, little more day-to-day updates. So if you feel like a follow, that's where you go. So in this video, we're going to talk about madness piled upon madness. Whilst the idea of being forced to buy an electric car for personal transportation is bad enough, I thought at least they can't be mad enough to force all commercial vehicles and trucks to go electric as well. Apparently Volvo think that's where it's going because they're building a range of electric trucks, and a news item popped up this morning celebrating this trip from Brisbane to Canberra in an electric truck. So in this video we're going to take a look at the article and then I'm going to go through all the crazy reasons why this is just bonkers. So the headline reads, longest EV truck journey to drop off new ESA's support vehicle in Canberra. ESA stands for the Emergency Services Agency. That's it's kind of like the fire service, I think. And that's a whole other story that Volvo have built this electric fire engine. There's a story to it, I'll link below. Anyway, this particular article says, an electric prime mover made its longest journey so far in Australia to deliver a nation-leading new battery electric firefighting support vehicle to the ACT, Australian Capital Territory, Volvo Australia had said. Now, just to explain that ACT is the green left capital of Australia, and so electric everything, reduce emissions, net zero, all the rest of it. The breathing apparatus vehicle was delivered to the ACT on Wednesday, hauled into the capital from Brisbane by a Volvo electric prime mover. Paul Ilmer, Volvo Australia's Vice President of Emerging Technology, said it was the longest Australian journey conducted by an electric prime mover. This truck over the last few days has been driven from Brisbane to Canberra, around about 1,200 kilometres, and was charged 7 times in the mandatory rest breaks, we'll come on to that in a minute, and has saved 1,200 kilograms of carbon compared to if that journey was conducted by a diesel truck, Mr. Ilmer said. We'll come back to that as well. The truck had to be charged in passenger vehicle bays, which Mr. Ilmer said showed the need for investment in truck-specific charging points. Oh my God. Okay, more about that later. I'm not going to read all of this. Canberra Times just loves all this stuff, so celebratory, obviously. The only problem with a truck like this is once you get a driver into it, you can't get them out to drive a diesel truck, he said. So the guy claims he saved 1,200 kilograms of CO2 on the journey. Well, big deal, because I wonder how many tons of CO2 were produced in those freaking enormous batteries. I think you'd have to drive that truck for a long time before it even broke even on carbon emissions. So let's just look at the charging time. You can do 300 kilometers, that's the full range, and that will be with a 540 kilowatt hour battery, and they're claiming that if you find a 250 kilowatt charger, you can charge it in 2.5 hours. So that means if you're going from Brisbane to Canberra, you'd have to charge it, 4 times, or 3 times if it's charged at the start. So that would add an extra 7.5 hours to the journey. And that's assuming you can find a 250 kilowatt charger. And if the answer comes back, oh, well, you just need bigger chargers. Well, how much electricity is there in the grid? Can you imagine a bunch of these trucks all pulling up at a charging station simultaneously, all wanting to charge quickly and get on? I mean, it's utter madness. In big service stations on the freeways, they have high capacity diesel pumps, which can fill a huge truck's tank in a matter of minutes. And here we are, we're going to be looking at hours to charge one of these trucks. It's absolutely insane. The real craziness of this EV charging nonsense is that it doesn't take into account the throughput required to get people in and out of a charging station. Can you imagine the queues that would back up if every car had to sit at a charging station for even an hour? There's only a certain number of charging points. They could all be full, and each person has to be there for an hour. I mean, it's lunacy to think that a 5-minute fill up of regular fuel is going to be replaced with a 1 hour charge up of electricity. And I'm going to do another video on this because I think it's a really important point that no one's thought of. So say you've got a filling station on the freeway with 20 pumps, for example. If every car spends about 5 minutes at that pump, you can get 240 people through in an hour. But if you have chargers where each car needs to stay there for 1 hour, you'd need 240 chargers to get the same throughput as you do for the fuel station. No one's thought of this. They're just completely incomparable. I mean, it's going to be chaos, absolute chaos. And when you throw commercial vehicles and trucks into the mix like this, it just goes beyond mad to fully insane. Anyway, that's just about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you've got any tips, you can hit me up on Instagram or by email. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.